Oh, it's so fun when you edit a video for like, I don't know, like 4 or 5 days. You get it all together, you're about to save the project, only for it to keep corrupting for some stupid-ass reason that you're not aware of. Seriously, it brings out the best emotions in me. You want to know what it does? It makes me want to
They call me Sonic, cause I am faster than sound, I keep on dumping around.
I think that's an apt description, wouldn't you say? That's a joke, by the way, don't take it seriously. But still, like, I am angry. But I don't want to nix it because I'm a Sonic fan and I'm stupid, so I'm gonna re-record this and give my thoughts on the Sonic movie. Brief thoughts, mind you, because I honestly do not want to record 40 minutes of mindless talking. Also, I don't know if Mr. Movie Maker can handle it, because it couldn't handle it last time, even though it's handled, like, hours of talking before, but what the fuck ever, who cares at this point. Sorry for the passive aggression and the disturbing imagery, but, you know, I'm pretty fucking pissed, so, you know. When you work on something for hours and it leads to ultimately nothing, you tend to understand why you're a bit upset by that. So anyway, the Sonic movie. It was good. It was very good. I was genuinely surprised by how good the Sonic movie turned out to be. I don't remember all of it, just because it has been a long while, but I remember stuff I said in the previous vlog, which is fucking worthless now, to the point where I think I can pretty much talk about the stuff I liked about the film. So I'm gonna go in a non-existent order and talk about the stuff I did like. One was Sonic himself. I talked about this near the end, but I'm gonna talk about it at the start, since I feel like I didn't really do a good job articulating why I thought this. But, Sonic, in terms of design and character, is so much better than he was in the original trailer. Because it's no secret, if you've seen the movie's production history, it's been a fucking mess. Like, when we first got that trailer with the original design, and it was horrifying as shit, and you just saw how bad it was. But now, you see the new design that they had for the second teaser trailer, you know, take two. It was so much better, it was much more accurate. I talked about this at the end, but I do not think this movie would have worked with the original design, and I still stand by that. Because the original design was so realistic looking, and it emoted so terribly, like, it looked so bad. It trying to show emotion via the animation they had there was just... no, it would not have worked. Like, a joke I used as an example was this one.
Oh my god, stop the car right now! What? The world's largest rubber band ball? We gotta see it! No, this is not some fun family road trip. You're right. It was lame. Gift shop was cool, though.
That was really funny. That was really funny. But it was funny because of Sonic's face at the end. It's a very obvious joke, very typical joke. It's been done many times before. But what really gets you to laugh isn't the words itself. It's the face that Sonic makes at the end. Could you imagine that scene with the original design? No, I don't think so. I know that the animators that reanimated Sonic did lose their jobs, as they were laid off by Paramount right after the redesign was finished. They didn't even get, like, it was right before Christmas, too, where they just... that's not a good feeling. Like, there is some part of me that feels a bit guilty for praising and enjoying the Sonic movie, but at the same time, there's not really much we can do about that other than tell Paramount that was a very shitty move. And it was a very shitty move. I think it was a very bad thing for Paramount to do. I've heard some people say that Sonic fans are, like ungrateful pieces of shit because apparently they cause people to lose their jobs over a redesign. First off, we were simply criticizing how, very harshly mind you, but still criticizing how bad the old design was. They were the ones to give the okay to change it. That is not on us. Also, we never asked for people to be laid off. And in fact, I actually think most Sonic fans were actually appalled that they were laid off. They actually thought it was a shit move. So, kindly shut the fuck up. I would prefer if the people got to keep their jobs and keep the old design, but it's too late for that now. History has already been cemented. We can't go back and change it until we build a time machine. So if you want to change it, build a time machine. Elephant in the room out of the way, and hopefully it stays out of the way for the rest of the video. Yeah, I don't think this... I think ultimately, in spite of the fact that there were consequences to it, the redesign did ultimately save the film. Because a lot of the comedy, a lot of the action scenes, a lot of the shots where you see Sonic in like a badass pose, they just wouldn't work with the original design. Not all of them would be awful, but 90% of them would. I think this new design was a good idea, and while I am upset at Paramount's decision to essentially lay off people who did genuinely good work, especially before Christmas, at the very least, what they did was not in vain. Also, I think Tyson Hesse also had a hand in the redesign, and if you don't know who Tyson Hesse is, he actually worked on Sonic Mania's animations. Mania Adventures, he worked on Team Sonic Racing's animations on the Sonic YouTube channel. Those are great stuff. If you haven't watched them, you should. Like, some of those are really, really funny. And I could tell, I can see his stamp on this redesign, and it's probably why it looks so damn good. But yeah, I also just enjoy the performance of Sonic himself, Ben Schwartz. He did a great job. It's a very different interpretation of Sonic in terms of writing, but in terms of voice, he's probably up there with one of my favorite Sonic voices besides probably Jason Griffith when he actually got good as Sonic, which would be around Unleashed and beyond. That's when he really started to capture Sonic well, and then he was fired, like, right after that. By that point, the damage was done. 4Kids had so many chances to improve, and they did eventually, but by that point it was way too late. Also, I think the 4Kids contract expired. I would also say Ryan Drummond is more of a favorite, but I think besides those two, I think Ben Schwartz does a great job. He's probably one of my favorite voices for the Hedgehog right now. And I would not mind, even though I don't hate Roger as much as most people do, I understand he has bills to pay, and, you know, Sonic is a good way to do that since he, you know, he is a good voice actor, and Sonic is a pretty high-profile role, but at the same time, I would not mind if, for the next main title, or one of the next main titles, if Sonic's voice actor changed to Ben Schwartz. Ben Schwartz is actually a voice actor I've followed a lot, because I've seen him on DuckTales, you know, the reboot, which is really good. And I have not seen Rise of the TMNT, but I do know he voices Leonardo, which is my personal favorite turtle. I have not seen that, though. I was put off by it, but I hear it's really good, so maybe I'll watch it at some point, since I am a big TMNT fan. As for his voice, though, I think it really suits Sonic. And because the animation is so much better for Sonic, his performance and the animation, they play off one another so much better than they ever could with that redesign. Also, he just sounded much more lively. Like, in the original trailer, I just thought he sounded eh. But in the new one, he sounds so much livelier. He sounds so much more fun, which is how Sonic should be. He's like a hyperactive child, and that's how Sonic should be. Because he is a hyperactive child. He hates standing still. If he stands still for even a second, he will be pissed at you. I mean, just look at the animations he has in the game where you just stay still for a little bit. He has them in almost every game. As for other characters, Tom, who is played by Charles Marston, I believe. Please correct me if I'm wrong. He played Cyclops in X-Men and did nothing because Cyclops was a wasted character. But as for his character Tom, or Donut Lord, which is a nickname given to him by Sonic for reasons I'll get to, he was a decent character. He's not what you would go to see the movie for, but I think what I like about him is that compared to other characters, you know, the Sonic movie does take a lot of influences from movies that a lot of people hate. You know, movies like the cartoon character goes to Earth. He meets an everyman who's so down on his luck. But then the two come together and they do something. You get the idea. You know, stuff like Smurfs, stuff like, other stuff that I don't want to get into. Smurfs is the obvious one. I would say Alvin and the Chipmunks, but that actually had human characters in it, so it wouldn't really be fair. Yeah, safe to say, Sonic is better than most of those movies, but it does still utilize that story trope, where the cartoon character comes to Earth. But the reason why I think it works with this movie is because it takes a lot of approaches that you don't see in most of them. Like how Sonic has actually been on Earth for years. He's been on Earth for at least, like, half a decade. Because he came here when he was very young. And Tom, what I like about him compared to so many, he's the average everyman who joins with the cartoon characters. He's not a stick in the mud. Like, he is very serious, he does take things seriously, and he is the straight man to Sonic's antics, but he does still have a fun, cartoony side to him, which, in my opinion, makes him worth having. And he plays off of Sonic very well. Again, this is also thanks to the better animation, but I just think he plays off of Sonic so much better than so many of these other everyman characters they usually add. I like Tom. Like, the tavern scene with Tom and Sonic, where they just sit down and talk, was really good. And I like how Sonic doesn't have to tell him to just let loose and have fun. He just does it because he wants to. And that's fun. That is something I like about Tom. He doesn't need to be told to let loose and have fun. He just does it because everybody has a fun side. He's more relatable that way. You know? That's something that kind of annoys me about some stick-in-the-mud characters. That unless there's a reason for why they're so serious, they usually have to stay serious. But no, people have more than just a serious side to them, and that's something I liked about Tom. Pretzel Lady is... I don't remember her name, nor do I remember the actress's name, unfortunately. Future me, if you could put that on screen for people. She did a decent job, but she wasn't really given much to do. I felt she was fine enough. Her sister was really funny. And I felt she did fine, but again, you're not here for that. You're here for Sonic, and you're here for Eggman. And since it's obvious we have to get to him eventually, yes, Eggman is the reason you watch the movie, besides Sonic. Jim Carrey, I don't think he carries the film, because there are other things I like about the film besides Carrey himself. But Jim Carrey does do a great job here. But what I like about him in this role is that he's not, like, he still feels like what Robotnik should feel like. He still feels like a scientist. He still feels like how Eggman would feel. What's even better is that at the after-credit scene, you know, the one you saw at the first trailer where he really looks like Eggman, where he gains the mustache and he's in the mushroom. And by the way, I'm going to be spoiling a lot, because really, this movie's been out for months. You should have seen it by now. If you haven't seen it, you're probably not going to see it. When he gains the mustache, he gains the goggles, he is in the mushroom field, he actually puts on a decent Mike Pollock impression. He doesn't sound one-to-one, obviously, but he does a good job. If a sequel comes out and he has that look, and he does the same voice, probably give him a sore throat, but I would like to see him with that voice, because he sounds like Eggman. He sounds like I would imagine Eggman would sound like. So good job to Jim Carrey. He plays a very good Robotnik. But, other than that, it is Jim Carrey. if you've watched his other movies, you should know what to make of him. He is very much still the same Jim Carrey, and no matter how much time has passed, he's still very much the same zany, cartoony man he always has been, and honestly, I hope he never changes. As for just some of the other characters in the movie, there's not really too many besides the main four I mentioned. As I said, Pretzel Lady's sister was really funny. There's a crazy old guy who shows up a picture of Sonic. Not Sonic. I'm sorry. Sanic. Sanic! I'm still not sure how I feel about Sanic being a part of official Sonic media, considering he was in Forces as a t-shirt as well. But it's too late for regrets, I guess. Oh, man. I still don't know how to feel about that. Sonic flosses, I guess I should probably mention that. I didn't even know it was flossing, because I do not give a shit about Fortnite. Now I know, but, you know, at least it was subtle. At least for those who don't care about Fortnite, you wouldn't know it was flossing. I mean, I know flossing has been around before Fortnite, as Fortnite has pretty much took dances from other stuff, but, like, you know, let's be honest here, flossing is more synonymous with Fortnite right now, because it's fucking Fortnite, you know? At this point, it doesn't really matter where it originated from. It's most well known by kids as the Fortnite dance, or a Fortnite dance. There's not really many other characters I could talk about besides... Actually, no, there's two more. One of which is an after-credits scene character, so I'll save that for later. The other one, however, is not. You see her at the start of the movie, and it's a character known as Longclaw. She looks like she's an owl character. She looks like she's from... another animated movie. I forget what the name of it is, but it was about owls trying to search for something. I don't know. If I remember what it is, I'll put a picture of the poster up. But Longclaw was Sonic's caretaker before the events of the movie occur. We see this at the very start of the movie, where Sonic is running around, baby Sonic, and is what a lot of people call, you know, Baby Sonic, Child Sonic, and unlike the version of Baby Sonic we saw with the original design, thanks to deleted scenes from the Blu-ray release, this one has the new design, so it's better. But we see Sonic running around as a child, and suddenly they're attacked by echidnas. Like, Sonic Adventure styled echidnas. Holy shit. But what I like is that Longclaw, I like her voice, I like her design. This isn't the first time they've gone over Sonic's childhood. I believe the Archie comics did that eventually, but this is the first time I've seen it since I don't read much of the Archie comics. And I liked what they were going with it. I liked what they did with it. I feel like it was a bit brief. I would have liked to have seen a few more scenes with her. But at the same time, we might see her in the sequel, since even though she was shot with an arrow, I don't think Longclaw is dead. I do think she was probably just captured and gravely injured. But who knows, maybe she is dead. It would certainly be a dark twist if Sonic went back to save her, only to realize that there's nothing to save. That would be pretty fucking dark. I would respect the hell out of them if they did that, and just showed Longclaw via flashbacks, but we'll see. It also would make for an interesting twist whenever they get Knuckles into the films, which they might, because I know Dwayne Johnson is in talks to be in the sequel for this movie. So I believe that's when they'll bring Knuckles in, and there might be a bit of tension there, because obviously Sonic probably doesn't like echidnas very much, since they essentially took away or killed his mother figure. So yeah, that will definitely be interesting. Hopefully they take advantage of that. The movie is very cliched in the sense that it does follow the typical story of cartoon character meets, the everyman, and they go on an adventure together. But what I like about it is that it feels more sincere here. I also like that Sonic actually does have a good reason to meet up with him. They actually build up his character quite well. What I like about him is that he's actually kind of a stalker. He's actually kind of insane, because he's been alone for so long. Like, after what happened with Longclaw, he's essentially just sort of made his own house and, you know, just stayed hidden, really. He hasn't really, besides Crazy Steve, which I don't think that's his name, but it's like an old crazy character who believes conspiracy theories. You know, I'm gonna discover the Blue Devil! Besides him, like, nobody else really knows he's around, nobody else really knows he's even alive or even a thing. And so, really, Sonic is a lonely motherfucker, and because he's so lonely, he actually lashes out, which kickstarts the plot. Like, the one scene, the baseball scene, that you see in the trailer, yeah, it's not played for comedy like it is in the trailer. It's actually played as a dramatic moment, and it kickstarts the plot because, you know, Sonic has, you know, pretty much goes around stalking people, giving them names, probably stealing a lot of shit. Just because, like, what else is he supposed to do? But he wants interaction with somebody. He wants a place to belong. He wants a family to come, and a home to come home to. And it's a different interpretation of Sonic, but it works. It works really well. Sonic also does not have the same amount of confidence as he usually does, but it makes sense because this is really Sonic's first time fighting a major villain. He still has the cockiness, and he still has the hyperactive attitude that we see from Sonic, so he's still Sonic, but it's just a very different interpretation of Sonic. A lot of people compare it to Tails, and yeah, that's an apt comparison. But I like it. It was a good moment. I also really liked the references to the games. Obviously, they were going to have them, but, like, besides the Sonic thing, which I'm still, I actually really liked what they did with the story, where they have to get to San Francisco, which I know it might just be a coincidence, but I highly doubt it. San Francisco is what City Escape was based off of. And if you don't know what City Escape is, you're obviously not a fan of the 3D Sonic game, so get the fuck out. It's a joke. Please watch my shit. Stay till the end, please. I need that monetization money that I don't make. The winks and nods were, for the most part, cleverly done. You know, San Francisco, City Escape is based on San Francisco, so that's where they need to go. Later on, they have to escape from the city. Rings are used as portals, which is not the first time I think they've done that, but it is... I think they've done it in the comics and in something else as well. Rings really are a kind of a weird thing to translate into media because obviously you don't have a live system or, you know, invincibility. And really, if rings did give you invincibility, then, well, there'd be no tension. And of course, I would be an idiot if I didn't mention the Tails scene. I said I would save it for later, and I did say I would do that. Yeah, Tails is in it at the very end. And I also like how he kind of has a similar blur effect to Sonic. Sonic kind of has powers very similar to the Flash, where he has lightning around him. Tails, I don't think, has that, but he does have a blur effect around him when he flies, which shows that, yes, he is probably not as fast, but still fast. So, you know, that's accurate to the games. And I believe the voice actress is the same one they have for the games, currently. She started with Sonic Boom and went to voice Tails and Forces. Not every joke landed. There were some things that I felt could have been done differently. For one thing, there's this weird thing where Sonic lashes out at Tom because he wants to leave Green Hills for San Francisco and become a cop there because he doesn't really feel like he needs to be at Green Hills anymore. And Sonic gets mad at him. It's sort of there to build tension, but it doesn't do its job effectively. It's just sort of brushed off. To be fair, Sonic did apologize and said he was being childish, which is good, you know, it's good for Sonic. It makes him likable, but at the same time, I felt like it was just sort of like, oh yeah, we're gonna use this retention. Yeah, but this sounds stupid. Oh, okay, we'll just write it out of the movie, and that's essentially what they did. It's sort of just like, you had an idea and you didn't do anything with it. And I will admit, I am more interested in what they'll do with the sequel rather than what they did with this movie, because to be fair, the plot itself is very simple. You know, it's nothing you haven't seen before. It's better than most of its compatriots, I guess if you want to call them that, because it's not as cringy or as forced or as bland as, like, say, movies like The Smurfs, you know, that utilize the plot of cartoony characters come to real world. It also helps that Sonic has been in realistic locations before. Like, in Sonic Adventure and Sonic Adventure 2, he's interacted with humans. Sonic Unleashed, Sonic 06. Sorry. So he has been in this situation before, but at the same time, it's better than most of them because of much better writing and much better characters, and much better characterization, and thankfully, much better animation. But at the same time, it is still very typical. I also think that the sequel could be better because we could go back to those other worlds. We could see the Mushroom Place, we could see Knuckles, we could see Tails. I'm very much looking forward to what they do with the sequel, more so than what they do here. I feel this was a good foundation, but it definitely does have room to improve, and I hope they take advantage with the sequel. There was one joke when Sonic and Tom were in a hotel room, and Sonic, he farted, he had a fart joke. Detective Pikachu did the same thing, and I didn't find it funny there, and I don't find it funny here. Please stop. If the Mario movie has a fart joke, like the Illumination Mario movie, I'm gonna say boo in the theater. Like, I will do that. I'll probably get kicked out. So yeah, wasn't really a fan of that. And, you know, there are some moments that don't quite land. Generally, though, it's more hit than miss, so, you know. The final action scene was really cool. I love how they actually took a lot of inspiration from X-Men with the, you know, the Quicksilver scenes where he slows down because he's running faster than everything else is moving. You know, it's very similar to, say, what Flash does, or Quicksilver does in his scenes in the Fox X-Men movies. And I also really liked how they took inspiration from Thor 2, oddly enough, where literally they travel to different points in different parts of the Earth via the rings. Like, they go to Egypt at one point, and Sonic runs atop of the one of the pyramids, which is pretty cool. Sonic goes to Chunan. I know it's China. Fuck you, it's Chunan. I demand it be called Chunan. You know why it should be. And that was really cool. Nice reference. And yeah, it was a pretty cool scene. Yeah, I don't really have anything else to say. It looked really cool. I don't really have much else to say because it is a very typical movie. You know, it's good for kids, good for Sonic fans. I'm not sure, if you're not a Sonic fan, you probably wouldn't enjoy this. Like, I know there are some people who think it was pretty but most of them aren't really huge Sonic fans, so I you know, they probably wouldn't enjoy this, which is fine. This movie's not for everybody, but I think for Sonic fans like myself, adults who grew up with Sonic, whether it be the 3D games or the 2D games, and especially kids who, you know, just like Sonic, they'll enjoy this. I think it's a decent, fun movie. It's definitely better than a lot of other video game adaptations, I think. Obviously, it's not the best. It's still nowhere near as good as Castlevania, you know, the TV series on Netflix. But really, that's like in a league all its own. It would be unfair to compare the two, really. Overall, I enjoyed this movie quite a bit. It's probably not going to stay my movie of the year. Considering theaters are closed, though, maybe it will, because I wouldn't be able to see other movies in theaters. God damn it, China. But, it was good. It was really good. I really enjoyed it. I liked Sonic, I liked his arc. I felt that while it was a bit bumpy at points, for the most part, it was a fun time from start to finish. Even with a few chinks. Say the middle portion where Sonic, gets angry at Tom was probably one of the weaker parts, just because it felt a bit forced. There was also a bit of a clumsy writing, as there was actually a plot hole, which some call me Johnny pointed out, and if you watch me, you most likely watch him, so I won't point it out. You could just watch his video instead. But really, it was fun. I had fun. I'll probably buy it on Blu-ray, I'll probably see it again, and yeah, hopefully this does not get corrupted. I really hope it doesn't, because I actually think I did a pretty good job here. So yeah, I am the Seaman235, signing out. Have a good day, wash your hands, stay safe, and stop taking the fucking toilet paper!